Welcome, everyone. We're back to another episode of Mr. and Mrs. I am Mrs. Andrea Whiteman.
I am Mr. Curtis Whiteman.
And welcome to another episode. We thank you all for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share our broadcast. If you like something that you hear, make sure you give us some hearts, some thumbs up. If you like it, share it.
Like,
if
comment,
not,
and share.
Put a comment and let us know what you don't like about it. We'll try to help you. But today we're excited because we're not just alone. We're not the only Mr. and Mrs. on our broadcast today. We have another Mr. and Mrs. that's joining us.
I kind of know them a little bit.
You know them?
I know them.
You know these people? These people are really close to us, and they are like family.
We're like family. Okay.
They are family. Come on, Mr. and Mrs. Y'all introduce yourselves.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mrs. Sabrina Shaw.
Hello, everyone, and I am Mr. Sabrina Shaw. Mr. Jonathan Shaw.
So these are our guests today. If you don't know and you're watching us for the first time and don't know us personally, this is my brother and my sister-in-love. Yes, my actual blood brother and my sister-in-love. This is family. So if y'all see us acting a certain way, because
it's comfort.
We're family, right? It's
family.
Comfortable. So we're just talking. We're just talking today. But our topic today and what we want to deal with, and let's see if this, if you are
relatable.
Yeah. This is familiar to you. If you can find comfort in what we're saying today. We're talking about relationships with your partner where there is an age gap.
An age gap.
So,
that's why we're here.
That's why y'all are here. We're talking about love.
Yes. Okay.
Finding love in unpredictable or unexpected ways and people and things, and where there is not the norm, or what people would say is the norm of a relationship. Finding love in almost a different,
someone younger or older
generation, right?
Yeah.
Would we be considered different generations?
I think so. We're not going to say how many years. The other couple might not want to.
This couple
We got 10 years. We got 10 years. So I think yes. I think that is a generation.
Right, but 10 years is a generation.
I think generation is 7 to 10 years.
Right.
I think so.
So for us, it's 10 years. So that's the difference in the generation. What is it for y'all?
We're past that.
We're different generations.
We're different generations.
I'm Generation X.
I'm baby boomer.
And you're baby boomer.
Yeah.
So there's a 14
and a half.
There's a
13 and a half.
13 and a half, 3/4
and a half
of a
January
age
to
gap.
June is a half.
Yeah, January to June is a half. So 13 and a half years.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for both of our relationships, it is the wives who are the seniors.
Right. And we look good at it.
Oh, we look exceptionally well.
Wonderful. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, that's like...
I agree.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. You must agree. From our generations, they would say, "Oh, the woman is older than the man." That they
we're the cougars.
Tag it now the cougars, right?
Right.
Yeah, but
is it really a cougar if the woman was sought?
Right, because we still were sought. We were.
I thought it was a cougar if the woman did the seeking.
Right.
I don't think it really matters. I think that the women get that label just because we're older.
That's not fair.
That's not, because we're older, we get the label that we are cougars because we accepted being with a younger man. So it's even if the man sought after us, it never looks like, we're innocent. It always looks like we did something. They kind of portray that we did something, to kind of get them. So the man
you
always
didn't chase me?
No, I did not. But you did chase me.
Okay, so since you said that, let's hear your story. How did it unfold that even in your age gap that you two got together?
Me?
Yes.
Wow.
The Seeker.
Wow. The Seeker. It was interesting. It was very interesting. Sabrina was always poised, always a lady, and I always watched her in settings, church settings.
Right.
And she was singing. She would go in, be in worship, and go home. So always reserved, always a lady. And I just was infatuated by her. It was my infatuation.
Okay.
I was infatuated, still am, infatuated by her. To a point we met at a friend's house one evening for a certain gathering and a party. And I think she recognized me. And I didn't know she knew who I was. And kissed me on the cheek. When she kissed me on the cheek, I fell out on the floor. Literally? And said I would never wash my cheek again.
Literally, I do remember that.
Since.
I do remember that.
So I was infatuated by her until one day I got up the guts to just approach her. And, she was in a situationship at the moment. I guess we'd call it that.
Yeah, that's a good word.
A situationship.
Yeah.
And I simply was bold enough to say, he's temporary and I'm permanent. And, I always carried myself older and presented myself older than what I really was at the moment. And so I guess it was that confidence and that boldness that kind of put a hook.
Yeah, that was definitely attractive.
Really?
That was definitely attractive. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You were very confident, and that was very attractive and handsome. So.
Oh, right. All right. And so from there, I pursued a relationship. I was in a wedding around October of that year. I was in a wedding, and I went to a local mall to get fitted for my tuxedo. And she was available that day. So I said, well, hey, meet me after my fitting, and let's go out to eat. And that was our first date at where?
Red Robin.
Red Robin's. That's right, Red Robin's. And it's been history ever since. So I did pursue her.
And I think he left something very important out. So he never told me how old he was at first.
Right.
So
that's key.
I kind of, you know what? And so I kind of started guessing, and I came up with an age, and so he never denied it. So in that instance, he was still older. So I thought he was 27 because he carried himself. I knew he was younger than me, but I didn't know exactly. Not knowing that he had or just graduated high school. So
this is very true. This is very true. I mean, to put some mathematics to this, 13 and a half years, 14 years, 13 and a half to 14 years. When we met, I was 19, she was 32.
Right. Okay.
So that puts some context to the conversation.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So I am just fresh out of high school. And she's solid. She's a solid woman, taking care of business, has a great job, own house, own car. Her child. She's running things. She's taking care of things. She doesn't need a man.
Gotcha.
As a matter of fact, at that time, I was kind of, like you said, what is that? I was in a what relationship? What kind of situationship? But after that situationship, I was ready to be by myself. I was really ready to be by myself. Really, when he came along, I was really ready to be by myself. And I thought he was 27. So I'm figuring I'm 32.
Right.
So that's not too bad.
Right.
I can deal with that. Then I found out how old he really was. And I was like, oh, no way. I am not going to jail.
Not the teen.
I was like, I'm not going to jail. I
was still a teenager.
I never, ever thought that I would be attracted to someone that young. That is just out of and I struggled with it for a long time. I struggled for a very long time because John was okay with saying the age. I was not okay hearing it. I was okay being with him, but I wasn't okay hearing it. Because it brought a reality to me like, I am old and I'm with this young guy. What are people gonna say?
Right.
Like I really had a fear of what people were gonna say about me.
And
So
you know
that's what it was.
And you know what? To be realistic, there is a cultural, societal double standard.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So that let's be real. The societal double standard is if a younger guy gets an older woman, from the younger guy's perspective, he's like, yes, I got it.
I told all my friends, I promise you I will.
Listen, I'm telling everybody, I got this older woman, Joe, she's bad, blah, blah, blah. And so we have that perspective. From the woman's perspective, it's like, oh my God, this is almost like embarrassing. I got this young guy. They're going to call me a cradle robber, a cougar, and all those other names that they call. But if you flip that, if it is an older man, and a younger woman, that's a different, story and narrative, and
it's accepted in a different way.
It's accepted. It
really is.
Even
Caucasians, even Caucasian, when you flip it with the women's younger and the man, you don't really, even the cougars, you don't really get that issue. Even in that era.
And so when you flip it, then the man becomes the sugar daddy.
Right.
He's a sugar daddy and he got a sugar baby. And she's only with this old man because she waited till him to die so she can get the insurance check. So all these narratives are created when the roles are switched and the ages are switched. And so all of those things, I think, was running through Sabrina's mind. What does society and culture say about me being with this younger guy?
Right.
While me, I'm throwing parties. I want to introduce everybody to the new lady I got, because at 19 years old, I just landed a 32-year-old.
Ego is like here.
Yeah. And you know what was the craziest thing? Now that I even think about it, I never got flack from my family. That was the weirdest thing.
I was going to ask you about that.
My mother, my father, my sisters, to this day, never ever said a word about the fact that I was dating a younger man.
Because it was Jonathan Shaw.
Exactly.
It's not every young man.
Everyone is not a Jonathan.
Everyone needs a Jonathan. Everyone needs a Jonathan.
No, not this one though.
Not Jonathan Shaw.
No, I need this one. But not this one.
Right, but not the Shaw. Not the Shaw.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is that it's not always because there is an issue, or because I couldn't find a man. It wasn't that you couldn't find a man.
Oh no.
It wasn't that you were not pursued by other men.
Right.
It was a genuine, like you said, initial attraction.
It was definitely
just
an
a genuine attraction that began the relationship.
But I'm just saying, for these two, it just worked.
Right.
It just works. Just throw age out. Just throw age out. It just works. It just makes sense.
Right.
Everything about the way we communicate, the way we talk, the way we love, it just works. Like you said, it just works.
Right.
And it is totally, since I am older, I have been in different relationships. Totally from one extreme to the next. Tall guy, short guy, big guy, small guy. Executive to school. Just school teacher. Any little thing.
Right.
But those never brought me the satisfaction that I have with my husband. I have.
Right.
None of them. None of it at all. So yeah, it was just something about him that just brought out. You know how they say, "How do you know?"
Right.
Everyone always says, "How do you know?"
Right.
And you really can't answer that question because you got to know for yourself. It's something within you. I just tell people it's always something within you to help you to know that person is yours. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm in love." That's really not love. That's something, because that what you got can go away. But this is 25 years here.
Right.
This is not just love.
25 years.
This is 25 years. So this is not just
27.
Yeah, 27.
25 married.
Yeah, 25 married, 27 together. Like, yeah.
Right. But you know what, too? It's also, too, And not to sound prideful or arrogant, but it takes the individual. That age is nothing but a number.
Right.
The individual just has to have a certain level of maturity. You just have to have a certain level of understanding and readiness for a relationship.
Right.
No matter what age you are. You could be 16 and do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's generations beforehand, they got married at 16, 17, 18 years old.
They did.
And so it's a level of maturity and readiness for a relationship, no matter how old you are. So there are some 17-year-olds that's probably ready and mature enough for a relationship, and then there are some 55-year-olds that's not ready.
That's not ready.
You're just not there because you don't have the level of readiness for a relationship, needless to say, a marriage. So it's really looking at the individual and what they're willing to contribute to a relationship so that they're able to have success there.
Right.
So where has age been a hurdle? Because it seemed out from just looking at, because I've known you before I actually married this wonderful woman here. It just never seemed like age has ever been a hurdle. So we're talking personal life, like our interests. Has there ever been something that you said I'm into that you just not into?
I don't think we've ever had, no.
Because you have an age gap, but you're really so much alike.
There's only, I mean, there's some natural things, but I'm not certain it's a contribution of our age. She goes to bed early, I stay up late. But
that could be
I don't think, I don't think that's an age thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That may not even be an age thing. So it's not many differences that we have because of our age, or things I like to do or she likes to do that's different.
That's where it comes with that personality and it's that compromising in that personality and the relationship. Like, even if it's like, okay, so when we first started dating and talking, we weren't into sports and football. But that it developed because our son, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he and his dad, his son, our son JJ just was doing it. We all come together because we all started liking it, and we made it a family thing. So we try to do everything to make sure that whatever we do is something that we all like.
Right.
So we just work it out.
Right.
But no, age has never been an issue. Never been an issue for us.
I think for us,
because I think we had some hurdles.
we had some hurdles. Well, stuff that we had to agree on and compromise on. Little things like he still enjoys video games, playing his video game. So we had to compromise in that what we do.
I play in the living room.
Right, no video games in the bedroom.
Cannot be in the bedroom.
Right, okay. So he plays his video games in the living room.
But that's my generational thing.
Right, exactly. Right. So, but I understood that is a calming thing for him. So when he comes home from work and he wants to wind down, playing his video game helps him. And so if he wants to sit in the living room and play his video game, that's fine. Yeah. So it was just no video game in the bedroom. We're not going to sit up in our bed while he's playing video games. Right. But that was just something that we compromised on. I'm not going to say, oh, you're so childish. So, no, that's what he likes. That's what he enjoys.
At least I'm home and you know where I'm at.
That's true.
You can peek and look at me. I'm right there.
I had no complaints because you home. So, Right. So things like that. What else do you think was a hurdle?
Okay, so again, we're dealing with generational stuff. My favorite time was growing up was the 90s. So I like Martin. I like Fresh Prince. She hate those shows. A Different World. She hate all these shows that I love. So that's a joke. So my entertainment, she does not think it's entertainment. She thinks it's annoying.
It's just some things like Curtis loves reruns. He will still watch them to this day, and I'm like, this is so corny. It's just corny. I just can't take it. So I'm in the bedroom watching Chicago Fire, and he watches
horror. Gore.
I just think that I could be a doctor. Chicago Man, Chicago Fire. Listen, I could have been. I could have been an investigator.
But then this may be a little lopsided in perspective, only because video games, Martin, all those. I'm such an old man at my young age. I think that's what
Right,
that's also
that too.
a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, when it comes to personality, I've always been an old man.
Yeah.
Like in personality and my character and the way I carried myself. I think I'm regretting some of it and trying to get my youth back now.
Right.
I'm 40 years old. So now
The things you should have done before.
the things I should have done at 14, I'm trying to do it at 40 something. And so now, you know, we grew up. I didn't have a pair of sneakers hardly.
Right.
I wore shoes or ballets or something. I wore, straight leg pants. I didn't wear jeans. I was always an old man. And now, again, I'm in my 40s. I got a whole slew of sneakers packed up, styled up in the house. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I probably, in my oldness or older, being older, kind of caught up to what she was already liking and doing, and was willing to do and like the same things. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of flowed that way. It worked. It just worked.
Right.
But ultimately, what you guys both just said, I think is important. You got to figure out how to make it work. It's that, again, that level of readiness.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Whatever those differences are, because it could be a difference in generation, it could be a difference in appetite, it could be a difference in what you define as fun, and you could be the same age.
Right.
But
That's
what
true.
you define as fun could be so different. You have couples, I know couples that we've counseled who, when they go on vacation, the guy, he wants to do all of the tourist attractions. He want to go out. He want to see the city. She wants to sit home and light candles and just watch the television in the hotel room. And so he's like, no, that's boring. And they're the same age.
Right.
So it's really what you are ready to do and compromise. Ultimately, marriage is the sacrifice of selfishness.
That's good.
Someone should write that down. The sacrifice.
Marriage is the sacrifice of selfishness.
If you're unwilling to put your selfishness on the altar and sacrifice it, you're not ready for marriage.
You're not ready for marriage. Mm-mm. Right. No matter the age.
No matter what age you are.
No matter what age.
No matter what age.
Take the age out.
Sacrifice of selfishness. You got to kill your selfishness.
So
and you
much.
don't know how selfish you are till you get married.
Right.
Yeah, I've been told.
Oh boy, you don't know how selfish you are until you get married. You're like, oh man, I didn't realize because one of the big C's of marriage is compromise.
It's compromise.
And so you got to give up your likes and your right to be right.
Right.
And you got to get your space, your style, your way. You're not living by yourself
drop
anymore.
that wine.
Right.
You got to drop it.
It's no more yours.
This is ours.
Yeah.
So it's a sacrifice of selfishness, and that's that readiness. That's working it out.
Right.
Exactly.
So for the men, because you were younger, did you find that in your pursuit, or even in having being married, that you kind of had to step up or level up to because of who you were pursuing, or the level that the person was? Because of I don't even know if it was the age difference or just because we were at different spaces already, and we had already experienced some things, and were like more into the work arena and all of those things. How did you feel? And what was your thought pattern in, okay, if I'm going to pursue this woman, I'm going to have to do
Right. Did you think about what you needed to do?
Right.
What did you need to change about yourself? What strategies or did you have to put in place to say, okay, first of all, to pursue us, and then at the same time, after you got us, did you have to go to another level, to keep us?
Right. Because at this point, you already said you were 19.
It's not a question.
Right, she was 19. when we met, you were 21, I was 31. Mm-hmm. Right? So we have already experienced some things. We have already had a couple relationships. We have, just because of the age difference. How did you feel in, pursuing this woman, I'm going to have to?
Well, I think I'm getting too much credit because I ain't thinking about none of this stuff. I saw a woman that I was attracted to, and I'm like, I'm just going to go for it.
No plan. Just go for it.
I jumped out the plane with no pack. No parachute. Just jump. Free falling. I didn't think about it until, I can't even say until after Sam. I think I thought about stepping up after marriage.
Okay.
And I really stepped up after having Adriano.
Okay.
My thought process was, would I want Adriana to date or marry someone like me? The answer was no.
Wow.
So I'm sure you probably saw the maturity after Adriana. That's why, because I really had the what you call it, come to Jesus moment. That was my come to Jesus moment. Because I was like, I don't want her to have any. Because I've dated women that, well, I say women, they were girls. I dated people that had daddy issues. That's not fun as a man.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Right.
I said, I don't want someone dating a broken girl. That's not what I wanted. So I stepped up because of really.
Right. So it was really your daughter that made you step up, not right.
She was the motivator.
but it was that. It was that also, and people that just got here, and Boo and Daddy. I'm looking at these strong men, and I'm looking like I am failing.
Okay.
I think I talked about this before. I am failing. I'm doing a horrible job. You don't got to tell me I'm doing a horrible job because I know it. I'm an introvert. Which means I'm always going to do my introspection of myself.
Okay.
I probably not look like it, but I am. So that was me.
Okay.
So it made me go back to school, made me get a job or 2 or 3 if I had to. So, and also some of our failures for me to mature.
Right.
So the problem was not that I wasn't mature. The problem was I didn't have enough failures yet. I didn't get the lessons from the failures. So unfortunately, you had to take the ride with me.
Right.
The failures.
Right.
But the failure is what brought the change. If that makes sense. I hope that answers your question.
And failure is exposure.
Yes.
And exposure matures you. You know, a lot of times people, it's not that they are not intelligent or successful. You just never been exposed.
Right.
And when you fail enough, you gain greater exposure. And so I definitely understand that. With me, she was my motivator. You know, to me, she was somewhat intimidating.
Okay.
But not to the point that it would cause me to shrink, because I don't look at challenges like that. I look at challenges like, let's do it. Let me take this feat on. Because as I said before, she didn't need me. She had her own money, making very good money. She had her own car.
Right.
She had her own apartment. She was taking care of her son. She did not need a man to do anything. When I met Sister Girl, she had her own toolkit. She could paint.
Right.
She could change light bulbs. You know, she had her own hammer, nails, and screwdrivers. She could do things herself. That was never a problem for her. So what do I need to do? And I had to tell her one day, she would go grocery shopping, and we lived in a 3-story walk up.
Right.
And she would carry all the grocery bags up the stairs, because this is what she's used to doing.
This is what she's used to doing. Right.
I've done this
It was her
without
norm.
you.
Right.
It's my norm.
Right.
I don't need you to help me up the stairs. And I had to tell her one day, no, you don't need a man per se for you to live, but you do need someone to love you.
Exactly.
Because you can love yourself, but where do you have external love coming to you? So you do need someone. And it just made me, if I'm going to step into this woman's life, I'm going to have to make sure that all her securities remain secure.
Right.
Like, she can't lose because she with me.
Right.
Because she already got it.
Boy, I know that feeling.
I can't lose because you came around. If I'm losing stuff, this may be something wrong with this.
Right.
So all of the securities had to remain secure, and I had to be an addition. And I think a lot of people sometimes mess up in relationships right there because they've compromised all of their present securities to develop a new relationship. The new relationship should simply be an addition to what you already got going on.
Right.
You shouldn't have to compromise all that stuff to now gain this side. That gain should be a gain to the things that I already got moving going on.
Exactly.
And I hope that I was a gain.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Absolutely. Tell me right now. Woo. Definitely a game.
Okay.
That was good. That was good. So I think with me, one of my challenges, and we've discussed this in I think our first podcast was that because I was initially the breadwinner.
Oh yeah, we talking about that.
Yeah, and we talked about that. I had to release some of that control. For me, it was harder. I think it was to release control because I don't know if it was the age thing or it was because I had been doing this already. I know how to do it. So don't come and mess it up. Let me just keep doing it. So, so, but it wasn't helping him to gain experience. Where, and like he said, because of his age, he didn't have those experience or successes or failures. And because I was just doing it, I wasn't letting him do it. So I had to, and that was uncomfortable. That was, that was a place of unsurety. I'm like, okay, that's going to be rocky. I don't know if he can do it, but I wasn't allowing him to. I wasn't allowing him to. And so I did, I've said this before. They say don't date or marry his potential if he's not showing you now.
Child, you met potential.
But in the beginning, I did, I did just see the potential. I saw, and I know what God has shown me as well, what he could be. But because I didn't see it at the moment, it wasn't, materialized right then. It was scary. That thing was like, okay. And like you said, I wasn't sure, okay, what my family going to say? Zing, can he take care of you? Can he take care of this? Can he take care of that? And at the moment, no. At the moment, it wasn't that. But I know everybody couldn't see or didn't feel what I could see or what I felt, right? And so if I would have gave up on that because everybody else couldn't see what I saw or felt what I felt. The one thing that Curtis did always do, when I had other relationships, and John could tell you, I didn't bring anybody home.
Nobody.
I didn't bring anybody home. Boyfriends from college, I didn't bring them home. Why? Because when I was done with them, I was easy to throw them away. I'm done with you. I'm finished. And I was always in control. And the one thing with Curtis, I'm not going to say, I tried. I did. I was like, I'm done. And Curtis always pushed back. He would never say, I'm going to let your stubbornness just turn me away.
So you try to throw him away.
I tried to end it many times.
You put him in the recycle bin instead of the trash bin, and he came back.
That's what she did.
7 times stronger.
She took me to dinner and took me.
I did.
Pay for my meal.
And that was part of my control, maybe as the older woman, and I always just felt like I was in control of things. And so it was because he continued to pursue. I was like, okay, Zane, I know what you said. But it's this. And he continued to pursue. And so I had to say, okay, Zane, if you're going to say you in this relationship, you have to let go and let him be the man. You have to let go and let him. If he gonna fail, then help him back up, help him fail. But you got to let go and let him be the man that that you've felt him to be, that God has showed you he could be. But you're gonna have to experience some of those failures with him.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. You know what? Something you said in that I realized was a motivator for me was that I realized how much Sabrina was not giving up to be with me, but what it means, because when you talk about the income, when we first met, she was making more money than me.
Right.
A good salary. I was coming up. I was on the rise, but I'm 19. So what am I doing? Right. And so she was making good money, good solid money. Then again, what am I doing? My little salary. What became a motivation to me was, if this woman is going to surrender her life to me, you better not drop her. You better step up to the plate, because if she gonna let this go, her toolbox, the grocery bags, her salary, and she kept all that. If you go, and so now to this day, y'all know me. I work 17 jobs because I'm going on an interview after this. Another job because I can't drop her. She's given up so much to be with me that I can't now compromise all of the securities that she had when she met me. Until the point it's been now, oh my God, about 8 years ago, where I pulled off her job. I said, you don't have to work anymore. I'll take care of you. And to work that hard to ensure that her lifestyle is maintained, I'm willing to do that. I have to. That becomes a motivation, because look at what she let go of, or surrendered, not necessarily let go, just surrendered to me.
I would say, and I hear what you're saying, that I surrendered it, but I really feel like I've gained more. I don't feel like I've lost anything, because the fact is that when I let go of the tool belt and when I let go of all that independence, you were there to make sure that I was secure. And I never had to worry. I just never had to worry about you making sure everything was good. So I was able to, in this relationship, trust him. Him with. I was able to trust him. Boom, done. He's gonna make sure, and it was easy. It was easy for me because he showed me that. You showed me that you were able to just make sure that we were always
And while
good.
you trusted me, I'm over here scared out of my wits. Like, oh God, I can't drop this. Oh God, oh God.
So no weakness.
I'm getting emails from the rent office like, oh geez, the rent is due. If I gotta go sell my body, I gotta figure something out to get this rent paid. Because this girl that surrendered, Jesus, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord.
So if you're watching and you're listening, women, find the man that you're able to surrender your independence to, and you're secure that he's not going to drop you.
And you'll know. And again, that's just that thing that just they show you, but you will know within yourself that they can handle their stuff, your stuff, and everything that comes along with it. That you can trust them. Trust them with your life and your livelihood. You got to know that before you release everything. Because again, when they show you who they are, that's who they are. And so my husband was able to show me who he was with everything within him, and I was able to trust him and surrender who I was for him.
And that's the story of the eagles. You know, the story of the eagles is when a male eagle wants to mate with the female eagle, he will come to her nest, and what she will do before he's able to mate with her is she would take one of her eaglets out of her nest and throw them and drop them. And if the eagle can catch her eaglet, then she'd know that that's a worthy eagle to mate with.
Wow.
If you can catch my baby before he hit the ground, then we can be be
Wow.
It's that trust factor.
It's that trust factor.
What are you willing to throw out that he catch?
Listen.
Right. So can you catch my baby?
Can you catch my weight?
Wow.
Because that's my weight, my child.
Yeah.
If you can catch that and handle that before it hits the ground, then we can mate together.
Okay, so I have a question. What are, for your marriage, what's your core values? What do you build your marriage on?
Well, we definitely talk. We communicate a lot. We affirm each other. One thing we do. I pride myself on making sure that I thank him for everything that he does. I want him to know that even though he pulled me off my job to take care of my mother, okay? And so my mother came to live with us. Right. At his suggestion. Right. Okay? And, I just want him to know that I appreciate him. I appreciate everything he does. Our bills are paid. There's a roof over our head. I have clean clothes. So there is nothing. He doesn't have to wash. He doesn't have to even buy deodorant. He doesn't have to do he don't have to wash dishes. He don't have to cook. because he's taking care of our house,
Right.
I make sure he doesn't have to ever do that. So I make sure that I affirm him. I make sure that he knows that I appreciate him for everything that he does.
Right.
Every single thing. So, we make, and we never ever leave the house or anything without saying we love each other. We say that every single day, 500 times a day. I love you.
Right.
Right, baby?
Well, that's
It's
good.
true. Very true.
That's good.
We too, me, I put everything in sermon form. So when you asked that question, I had 3 points in the poem. So our core values, I agree with her, is certainly communication. It's not only communication, but compliment. That's that affirmation. We certainly compliment each other. We also compromise. There's things that both of us are stubborn about. We're not stubborn people, but both of us are stubborn about certain things. But we realize we're passionate. We realize in marriage you have to compromise some things.
Right.
And so we're willing to make those compromises. And the last one will be commitment. And I consider these the 4 C's of relationships. To make a commitment that no matter how tough and rough it gets or it has gotten, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. We're still here. So commitment, compromise, communication, and compliment is what our core values are.
That's good.
That's
now,
good.
we could do better because I ain't gonna lie, I be petty. I have this petty gene in me.
What are y'all core values? Let's see what
There's
they are.
something in me that says choose violence. You know what? I give her the first 2 arguments. This third one's for me.
Petty.
This third one, I'm taking this third one.
He's a petty Teddy.
Yes.
3 strikes, you're out.
And so I've just learned that I guess, and men usually say that happy wife, happy life, but if sometimes I just let him win, I just give it to him. I just
You don't feel that way.
no, listen, it took a while.
I appreciate my wins, though. I do.
14 years in, but it took a while because we could go tit for tat.
Oh, we could.
Yeah.
But what's that settle?
Right. And I think going back to the core values, one of the things that I had to learn to do more of was the affirmation or complimenting. I think I didn't say it as much. Like, you're doing a wonderful job. Like, just get it done. Just do it. And it wasn't a showing my appreciation for the things that he is doing and what he's doing well. I do think that, we are where we're supposed to be at the time we're supposed to be in it. I believe in God's timing. But I think I could have, if I was more complimentary and soothing, I had to learn to be a little more like that. I had to learn to compliment him and affirm him and stroke him and stroke his ego. I was a little rough. And so at first he was like, "Dad, I can't," and I would, I had to,
nothing right.
Yeah, like, dang, she never satisfied, and it wasn't that I wasn't satisfied. I just that harshness. I was a little harsh.
Yeah.
I had
I sent you flowers. Well, you're supposed to send me flowers.
I had to smooth that right. Like when he did do those things, it was because I'm saying you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Instead of, like you said, complimenting that, you did that, you took care of the house. And so I think I'm a little more like that now. I'm better. I'm better now.
But let all women take this note, because that's really good. All women take this note and hear me theologically. Y'all don't turn off the podcast. Share this right here, because this is gonna be good. Men are like God. The more you praise us, the more we'll perform. Most men stop performing because they stop getting praises.
Wow. Woo.
The more you praise us, the more we perform. When most men are not performing because the last time we sent you flowers or did something for you, we got no celebration from it. Something in us says stop doing that because she doesn't like that. So we're going to do something else. Or when we find out we cannot satisfy you, we'll do nothing because we don't know what's going to satisfy you.
Right.
So celebrate what you want repeated.
Right. That's good.
and you'll get more of it.
Yeah.
I think women
Praise
are
him and he'll
like that
perform.
too. I think women are a little bit like that too.
Right.
I do think that, if we get those kind of affirmations, it makes us feel good. So like you say, happy wife, happy life.
Right.
It compliments to us kind of secures us.
Right.
Compliments and, doing those things really kind of secure us in our place. And it just makes us happy.
And I agree with you. I 1,000% agree with you. But let me tell you something. It's not just complimenting a woman. It's where you compliment her. It's complimenting her in public. There's a difference between sending a woman flowers to the house. She's going to love them, appreciate them, and adore them. Send them same flowers to her job.
Absolutely.
And I have.
Yep.
It's a totally different presence.
That is true.
Because now everybody is looking saying, you sent you flowers. You are special. All our friends, our boss, our coworkers are now asking about these flowers. So it's that extra level of specialness. It is kissing her at home. That's wonderful. She adores it and she loves it. But kiss her in public, it's like, uh-oh. And some people don't like public displays of affection, so that's true too.
Right.
But it is that display openly,
letting everyone know.
Letting everybody know.
That's something I especially because she had this thing where she wearing lipstick, she won't kiss me. But I have a thing especially
lipstick, I won't kiss her.
Especially if I have to go to, let's say, church, whatever. Especially if I have to preach or whatever.
Right.
I'm very conscious there might be a guest. I ain't ugly. I'm gonna kiss women so people can know I'm married.
Right.
This girl here be like, nah, I leaned in. I'm at 90. She like -10. I'm trying to let the people know I'm married. I'm on the market.
Right. That's true. You do.
I kiss my daughter instead.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Well, you're right.
But one thing you have done, like you always say, like when I'm finished cooking, like, babe, thanks for cooking. And I'm like, I don't need a thank you for that. But you do say that. Or, babe, you take care of the kids. Well, thank you for taking care of the kids. You do that. So, I appreciate that too.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I got a text before we went on our vacation. Oh, babe, you pay for the whole vacation. You such a good. I was like, yeah, thank you. My muscles felt a little bigger that day.
It was a learning experience for me. For me, and people that know me and know me from my past and know I was just kind of
feisty, stubborn. I'm not
you find a lot of words. That's a lot of words. I was stern. I was, harsh.
That's a good one. Stern.
Yeah. So I had to learn how to
lose control.
A little soft around the edges.
And let me tell you, sis, it's good because we really as the older women,
right?
We definitely need to make sure we affirm our husbands, okay?
Right, because other women are looking to affirm them.
Okay?
Yes.
Other women are looking to affirm them. So, we don't want them to get affirmations anywhere else.
Right, absolutely.
So we gotta make sure.
That is for sure.
We got to make sure
that is for sure. Especially, when they're, listen, I don't know what it is about ministers, pastors, people fall in love with
public figures.
It's the and specifically preachers. I think that it's a thin line between finding the love of God and what they're preaching about God, but it's their passion in preaching it that, wow, I'm attracted to this man. No,
that's another podcast, sis.
Yeah,
that's another podcast.
Yeah,
that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, so we have to.
It ain't even the man. It's the leadership. It's the alpha.
Right.
The alpha posture and position. It's the energy of the moment.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. I've in my 30 plus years of ministry have had some women and female advances, and I had to be confident and secure enough to know you don't like me.
Right.
It's not me.
That's not even me.
It's the performance.
It's the performance.
Yeah.
It's the energy. It's the anointing. It's all of those other things. It's the leadership. It's the posture. That the trick about Jezebel that has been misdefined and theologically taken left is that, she's painted as this picture of this woman who will sleep with any man, want any man. Jezebel does not want any man. Jezebel wants only one man.
Right.
And she's committed to only that one man, but that one man is the leader.
That's it.
That's the Jezebel.
Right.
She wants the one man who's the leader.
Yeah.
She don't want any and every man. She's not some loose woman out here sleeping around. That ain't Jezebel.
Right.
Jezebel wants one man, and she wants the senior dog.
Right.
The alpha.
Yeah.
Alpha.
Yeah. So
Alpha personalities.
yeah, I think in relationships, and we've said that today, it's in any relationship, you must learn the person that you are with. If you're not secure in trusting them to love you the way you need to be loved, if you're not secure in that this person will deny themselves to take care of you, is that selfishness? Are they going to be selfish? If you're not secure in that, then maybe that's not the relationship for you. Maybe that's not the person for you. And if you're secure in that, age is they say it's just a number, but it doesn't have to be a factor in.
Doesn't.
Yeah. If you can lose that, what will people think? And you see that this person will take care of you and love you.
Right.
One thing I have never, in our relationship, I've never had to question was whether Curtis loved me. I've never had to question that. I've never had to say, even in our arguments and our things that we disagreed about, we went to sleep some nights mad at each other, all of that. I never had to question whether he loved me.
You question my sanity, though.
Listen,
Well, love is insane.
So it was understanding his reasoning and all those things, but it wasn't that he didn't love me or didn't care or just was know of how I felt, or no, it wasn't that. But we had to compromise. It was just a learning each other.
Right.
But there was never a time where I did not feel like he did not love me. So that was never a factor. That was never a factor. So if you find someone that you are secure and know that they love you just for who you are, just the person that you are, not because you've done something, then not because you've made this happen for them, just because they love you for who you are and you love them, then that's the relationship of the person you want to build and come together.
Exactly. It's not. These two relationships here aren't the reason for you just to go out and say, "Oh, I got to find me somebody younger or somebody older."
Exactly.
This comes with the commitment and the conversation and the compromise. It comes with all of that. It comes with talking and learning each other and seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it that we were really ready to commit to, regardless of the fact.
Right.
And that's why we both have been 14 years, 25 years in. You know, so you have to look for that person. Yeah.
I got no words of wisdom. Just pursue love. Bump age. Don't care about none of it. I'm like, if they make you happy, can you tolerate them?
Right.
There you go.
Stay in there.
Yeah. It's worth it. It's worth it. In the end, or in your life, it's gonna be worth it. It is just good. Can I say that? It's good to have somebody to be with, to be in a relationship, to have love you. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't brush your teeth in the morning, and when you look into up, and your spouse just come and say, "Give me a kiss, baby."
Listen,
you ain't made up. You not, and that is that kind of love.
It's still right.
It's still love you. And still love you. It's good. So if that is what you want, and that's what you're pursuing, go for it.
Because I wouldn't trade this man for nothing in this entire world.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this. I will say this. Now, disclaimer. So I've known all y'all before we got together.
Right.
So I used to look at these two and like, if these two ever break up, ain't no hope for anybody.
Everybody can forget it. But marriages don't work.
Let's get up.
Lord, we got pressure.
Jeez, stay together. It just always works.
Right.
I think when I first met these two, I think y'all was engaged.
Okay.
So I don't Of course, I wasn't invited to the wedding. I just met them, but it just seemed like it just always worked.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If they did argue, you would never know it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But even being at Crown for some years,
right,
being an in-law, you would see this woman push her husband.
Right.
If you saw the S on his chest the way, because after she was done with him, this man will
That's my man.
He would have a little ego, just a little ego.
That's
But this man, he knew he could walk on water after Sabrina was on. But that's what a good woman do. A good woman make you feel like I could do it.
Right.
Fearless.
That's good.
Fearless. And also the way he took care of his wife too.
Right.
Oh, he definitely
This is why I said, let me step my game up. Because the way I saw him take care of Sabrina, Boo with Frida, Daddy taking care of his business.
Right.
I'm like, I am doing a horrible job. I gotta catch up. But I'm just saying, because just God bless you both. I love your marriage. And whether you know or not, we do model.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ourselves after you guys.
Right.
Jeez.
And so as John's sister, I can say that
I'm gonna tell you, brother.
I can say that with Sabrina being in his life, like this is my sister. That's just it. We don't even do the in-law thing. It's just my sister. But I can see that the life that they have built together, it has just made my brother like you were just saying, like he is Superman to his family. And the family that they've built together, and we all are, one big family, but it couldn't have been anybody else but Sabrina. It could not have been anyone else. Yeah. So, even
nobody would put up with me.
Yeah.
I am thoroughly convinced that somebody else would have killed me or kicked me to the curb, divorced me by now. Oh, please.
Yeah.
My house empty. And that's why I told the one that tried to, sir, please.
Right. Some of the ones that I even knew about that tried to pursue, like, no.
You're not equipped for this.
No.
You see the minister, the man of God standing up there. You don't know John.
You're right. That one. That part.
You cannot handle me.
Yeah.
I am a mess.
Yeah.
But I did that. I probably needed an older woman.
Yeah.
I certainly couldn't have handled one my age. And one younger than me, I would have killed. But because she would have been annoying. She's petty. She's too immature. I couldn't take all of this. I don't want a child. I want a mate. And so it just wouldn't work. So I needed someone older because of my ambitions, my goals, my destiny, all of the things that I'm going after.
Yep.
I needed someone older. And I always say this: you always know the potential of a man determined by the woman that God puts by his side. Because whoever God puts by his side must incubate what he's visioned to birth.
Right.
She's got to be a certain kind of incubator. And everyone cannot incubate my vision. And so whoever God puts by your side, it speaks of the enormity of your future and your potential.
Wow. And so, Curtis, I think that even doing this podcast, that this was a part of your vision.
It certainly was.
And I hope that I'm incubating your vision, because I wasn't sure. Maybe this is a generational thing again. Like, we didn't do this. This talking, Right. But he loves podcasting, and he studied this, and he studied engineering and all of these things. And so I know this is one of your visions, and I want to help to actually bring it to pass. And
I told you,
it's just the beginning.
There's no one else I could have did this with. Not that I didn't want to, but she's the right person.
Right.
Yeah, let me fix that. Thank you.
Right.
She's the right person.
Right. Because you could have said, I'm just going to do just myself, by yourself. You could have said that, or you could, a lot of other, males that you could have just brought on the platform. So, but to do, I mean, from beginning, the introduction stages of it, and even the name Mr. and Mrs. This is all a part of his vision. So
I love it.
Excellent. Y'all doing a great job. Y'all doing a great job.
I
But
do.
thank you.
I really do love. I love seeing you happy. I love seeing you happy because when I do see the two of you together and the fact that you guys been married now for 14 years,
Right.
you know, you have definitely changed, blossomed, and yeah, you both definitely complement each other. I remember when Zine, you know, even shared, you know, possibly being in a relationship with you, and it was a scary one for you.
Right.
You really didn't know, you know, what was going to come of it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you took the chance. I'm really, you know, want to verbally say that to you. I'm glad you took the chance because you can definitely see that it has been a wonderful chance that you took.
Yeah.
And it's really it made you happy. It's brought a wonderful marriage, two beautiful children.
Right.
And I love it. I love what I see within the two of you. So I wish you all God's blessings. And
Thank you.
and 14, 25, 44 years
You're going to
ago.
get there.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Definitely. So it has been a life-changing experience, but I love it. Like even my family would say, like, Zine, we didn't even think you would have children or have one child. Now I have two. It has been wonderful. I didn't know these things that God had planned, but it was a good plan.
And let me tell you how prophetic our family was. Because growing up, we used to always say in the house, you know, they used to think about what kind of wife I was going to have, what kind of children I'm going to have, what kind of. And so when we got to Zine, we said, well, Zine is probably going to marry a white man. We always said she's going to marry a white man. We said Zine's going to be the one that break our culture and go out here and marry a white man. We used to always say that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And here she is, married a white man.
I married a white man.
I've never heard that story.
This family
I married a white man.
You always
It's
tell me that.
always another story. You haven't heard.
Here she did. She done married a white man.
But
Sounds
yeah,
all right.
it's
Wow, that's
been
something.
wonderful. It's been good. So.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
So we thank you all for watching this segment of Mr. and Mrs. We thank our guests,
Family.
Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan and Sabrina Shaw. Thank you for coming and lending your marriage nuggets and wisdom. And if you're watching and you want to get in contact, we can definitely just send us your number, your information, put it in the chat, the comments that you want a little more. Listen, they have relationship books. They have wisdom nuggets for marriage. They have those available. We can definitely get that to you. So put your name in the comments. Let us know that you want to be a part or get that information. We'll definitely get that to you. But this is Mr. and Mrs. So we've gotten another episode
under our belt.
Under our belt. Thank you for watching. Remember, like, love, and share. And let us know what you want us to dialogue and talk about next time. Maybe your idea will be here. Maybe you can be here on the couch with us and talk about it. Thank you for watching. We love you.
Peace. And good night.